The backstage area of Britain's Got Talent buzzes with nervous energy. Contestants are scattered across the room, some pacing, others rehearsing their lines or songs, while a few huddle in groups whispering words of encouragement. Bright stage lights spill into the room, illuminating the colorful costumes and props that hint at the incredible variety of acts about to perform. In one corner, a young singer clutches a bouquet of flowers, her fingers trembling as she smooths the edge of a letter addressed to Simon Cowell. Beside her, a magician rehearses a card trick, glancing at Simon's seat with a mixture of hope and anxiety, imagining the judge's reaction. A comedian scribbles last-minute jokes on a notepad, carefully tailoring each punchline to Simon's famous expressions and critiques. The camera pans across the room, catching snippets of conversations, acts sharing how Simon inspired them to pursue their dreams, contestants quietly admitting that impressing him is the ultimate goal. A mentor checks in on each performer, offering words of encouragement and adjusting costumes, while assistants carry props to the stage. The tension is palpable, every contestant knows that Simon's attention can make or break their audition. Despite the nerves, there's also a shared excitement, a sense of being part of something extraordinary. Some contestants take deep breaths, close their eyes, and visualize walking onto the stage, hoping to make Simon smile, laugh, or clap. Others peek through the curtain at the judges' panel, eyes widening at the sight of Simon's iconic stern face. The energy is a mixture of admiration, anxiety, and determination. Every act backstage seems united by one common goal, to impress Simon Cowell, the man whose opinion they hold above all else. The atmosphere is electric, setting the stage for unforgettable auditions. The spotlight shifts to the stage as the first act steps forward, a young singer whose heart is pounding with anticipation. They take a deep breath and glance at Simon Cowell's iconic seat, clutching a bouquet of flowers and a handwritten note in one hand. The stage is bathed in warm lights, the audience's murmurs fading into an expectant silence. The opening chords of a carefully composed song fill the studio, and the singer's voice cuts through the quiet, soft but confident, carrying every ounce of emotion and admiration they feel for Simon. Their eyes never leave him, searching for any hint of approval or encouragement. As the song swells, the audience starts clapping along, some standing, swept up in the beauty of the performance. Simon leans forward slightly, tapping his fingers to the rhythm, a subtle but telling sign that he is engaged. The camera captures the singer's nervous glances, the tiny smile forming as Simon's expression softens. Each note is delivered with precision, but it's the sincerity behind the performance that resonates most. Other judges offer encouraging nods and smiles, but it's clear that Simon's reaction is the true measure of success. The song reaches its crescendo, the singer pouring every bit of emotion into the final note, finishing with a flourish. The studio erupts into applause and cheers, but the singer's eyes are locked on Simon, who finally allows himself a small, approving grin and a nod. Relief floods the performer's face, they did it. They captured the attention and admiration of the man they have long idolized. The host steps in to congratulate them, but the real victory is evident in that shared moment between performer and Simon, a silent acknowledgement of dedication, talent, and passion. The next act bursts onto the stage, greeted by a wave of applause and anticipation. This time, it's a comedian whose entire routine is a playful homage to Simon Cowell. From the moment they step forward, the energy is electric, every movement, gesture, and facial expression carefully crafted to mimic Simon's unmistakable persona. The comedian begins by exaggerating Simon's iconic scowl, pausing for dramatic effect while the audience erupts in laughter. They deliver jokes referencing Simon's most famous critiques, playful one-liners about his stern demeanor, and exaggerated impressions of his reactions to previous auditions. As the skit unfolds, the comedian continually gestures toward Simon, giving him a nod, a wink, or a direct line that draws laughter from the audience and a rare chuckle from Simon himself. The tension and excitement backstage now seem mirrored on stage, the performer's eyes constantly flick to Simon, gauging his reaction with a mix of hope and admiration. Simon, usually stoic, can't help but allow a few smiles and a reluctant shake of his head, his amusement breaking through his trademark seriousness. The audience roars with laughter, thoroughly enjoying the act, but the real highlight is the connection between performer and judge. The comedian makes one final exaggerated bow, pointing towards Simon and saying, "This one's for you." The studio erupts into applause, cheering for both the humor and the evident respect behind it. Even the other judges clap along, sharing in the moment. As the act leaves the stage, Simon leans back in his chair, still smiling, clearly impressed by the clever homage. The performer exits, triumphant, having successfully entertained and honored the man who inspires them. For a few brief minutes, the usually untouchable Simon Cowell became both the subject and the audience of a heartfelt comedic tribute, leaving everyone in awe. The spotlight shifts again as a magician steps onto the stage, carrying an air of mystery and excitement. The audience leans forward, intrigued by the props and sparkling costume, but all eyes are on Simon Cowell. This act is specifically designed to involve him, and the magician's confidence is clear as they begin. With a dramatic flourish, they pull a deck of cards from thin air, then smoothly produce a card from Simon's pocket, eliciting audible gasps from the audience. Simon raises an eyebrow, impressed despite himself, his usual skeptical expression softened by genuine curiosity. The magician continues, performing a series of illusions, each one cleverly designed to elicit a reaction from Simon. A floating object drifts near Simon's chair, causing him to shift slightly and chuckle, attempting to maintain composure. The audience is captivated, clapping in rhythm with the magician's perfectly timed gestures. At one point, the performer invites Simon to participate, asking him to hold a magic wand while the trick reaches its climax. Simon hesitates, but eventually follows along, his stern exterior melting into amusement. For the finale, the magician presents a glittering gift box directly to Simon, who opens it to find a personalized token, a nod to his influence on aspiring performers. Simon's eyes widen in surprise, and a rare laugh escapes him. The judges exchange impressed glances, while the audience erupts into cheers and applause. The magician takes a bow, stepping back with a triumphant smile, having successfully engaged the famously hard-to-please judge. The camera captures Simon leaning back, clapping once with a satisfied smile, a gesture that signifies his approval. The performance is more than just tricks, it's a masterful display of skill, showmanship, and admiration. The magician leaves the stage, their mission accomplished. They not only amazed the audience but also won Simon's rare and coveted recognition. The final act of the day bursts onto the stage in a dazzling display of energy and creativity. It's a large group performance, a choreographed mix of song and dance, created entirely as a tribute to Simon Cowell. The performers hold colorful banners that read messages like, "We love Simon," and "Thank you for inspiring us." The music kicks in, a powerful anthem of admiration, and the performers move in perfect sync, their enthusiasm contagious. Every step, twirl, and gesture is aimed at capturing Simon's attention and conveying the performer's heartfelt respect. Simon sits forward, intrigued, as the group integrates personal references to his career, iconic moments, and famous critiques into their performance. The audience cheers, claps, and even sings along, swept up in the spectacle. For the first time, Simon rises from his chair, applauding the performers with a genuine smile. His rare display of warmth sends waves of excitement through the studio, the other judges joining in with enthusiastic nods and claps. The performers, sensing Simon's approval, smile and beam, their energy reaching a fever pitch. As the performance concludes, confetti rains down, illuminating the stage in sparkling colors. The performers rush to the judges' panel, surrounding Simon to express their gratitude and admiration. For a few moments, the usually reserved and critical judge becomes the center of joyous celebration, acknowledging each performer with kind words and pats on the back. The audience rises to a standing ovation, chanting Simon's name, celebrating both the performers and the man who inspires them. The camera closes in on Simon's face, capturing a rare, proud smile, a perfect conclusion to a series of acts that each, in their own way, could not get enough of him. The energy, emotion, and admiration leave an unforgettable impression, marking the finale as a truly special moment in Britain's Got Talent history.